Hi guys, my name is Sandy. I'm a homeschooling mom to two boys. They're going to 7th and 9th grade next year, and it's going to be our 6th year homeschooling. We are going to be using a lot of Guest Hollow curriculum next year, and I thought I'd get on here and show you guys a video about how we plan out the year. I did use it last year for the language arts for my younger son, and he really enjoyed it. And since there's so many different ways of using this curriculum, this is just how our family uses it. If you have a child who's a really big reader and they devour books like crazy, this is probably not how you would plan it for your family. So let's get started. So the first step in picking out the curriculum usually starts out in January for me. I went onto the Guest Hollow website this year and I decided which one I was going to be using for my kids. My 9th grader is going to be using the biology, and my 7th grader, sorry, that's my dog, he's playing with his toy. My 7th grader is going to be using the geography and the anatomy, and my 9th grader is also doing geography. So some of the books are going to be able to overlap for the geographies and for the anatomy and the biology. So the next thing I do after I pick which curriculum I want to get is I purchase it and I look at the list of books that's needed, and I'll pick out books from my home library, like books I already have at home that have to do with the subjects that we haven't really used too much lately. I have this book that both of my kids are going to use for geography. I have this also for geography for them, Eat Your Way Around the World. I found these books for $1 on Rainbow Resource, so I'm adding these, even though they're not on the list. This also for anatomy for my younger son. This is a World Atlas. I've got this for anatomy. And then also I bought this a long time ago, and we've never really read through it before, and I thought it was so cool. So every time we get to a new part of the body, I'm going to be flipping through this book. The next thing I do is I look at the list that they provide. This is the high school geography. I printed up the book list that if you purchase it, they provide for you. And I marked down the books that I'm going to buy. I let my kids take a look at all the books online, like on Amazon, so they can pick the ones that they really want to get the most. And the good thing about the book list they send you is they are ranked. Like this one is a ranking number 1. So I know for sure I definitely want to make sure I get that book. And I start this process already in January because I like to buy used, so it takes a while to collect all the books used. Better for the geography for my younger son. This is for the geography for my high schooler. These are all books that you use in both curriculum, or I'm going to be using with both boys. This is for geography. This is for biology. It's a cookbook for geography. And they're both going to read through this one. And of course, I'm so glad I picked up The Hungry Planet because it looks like such an awesome book. And then these are all the books for the anatomy that I have so far. So you can see there's a lot for that curriculum. I like to have all the actual books in front of me before I start planning what my children are going to be doing for each lesson every day. And the reason for that is I like to flip through the books and see how much they're going to have to read from each book each day and see how long it's going to take them. This book would probably be a one-day thing because it's pretty simple. We can go through it really quick. Other books for the high school, he's probably going to need to spread it out more days. So let me show you how I organized the 3-ring binder. I separated everything into different tabs. The first tab would be the supply list, and then behind that is the book list. And then I have another tab for music and cooking. I like to list the weeks for the different music and the cooking recipes so that if I have to get something, I know about it. And this is the main area. This is my day-to-day schedule. I write it all out by hand. That way I do it in pencil, it's easy to erase, and I don't have to turn on a computer every time I want to look at their schedule. And behind that is the worksheets. I print up the worksheets myself. I get ink like really, really cheap. It's like some generic brand, and it lasts me like a year. So I just print everything myself, and I did print up all of the worksheets from the workbook that's included. And then the very last tab is for the answers for the worksheets. And this one I did two-sided. I'm going to show you how I make their online schedule work for us. This is the junior anatomy, and I'm going to be collecting stickers up here. We've gotten universal yums this year since we're doing geography. We flip to his anatomy tab here. I schedule it out by the days that we're going to be doing anatomy. Like this would be day 25, this would be day 44. So I don't put actual dates in there because I don't know which date we're going to be using that particular lesson. And this would be our first week. I've got Read the Guts book and which pages we have to read. And that's this book right here. And the second day would be a video link online, which is the cell. The third day I have Read Enjoy Your Cells, which is this book. And then the fourth day there's a linked game online. And that's just week 1. And then week 2 we have new activities. And here would be week 3 and 4. And wherever you see a star, that's because I've got to buy some supplies for a science experiment. So this way I can just glance at it really quick and see what supplies I need. This right here is the online schedule. They have it separated by week. So if I go over here to week 1, it's loading all of the activities for that week that they schedule. There's that book, Enjoy Your Cells. And it's by day. And this is really cool because there's printable links over here. And there's also some websites like this interactive cell. And you can just easily get to it that way. And we don't have time to do everything on here, so I kind of pick and choose what I think my son is going to like the best. And there's videos on the bottom. I wanted to make a quick mention about how I select books. I partially select them from what my kids' interests are. I let my kids look at the books online and see which ones they really want to do. And of course I like to select the number 1 and number 2 books in there. I'm realistic about which books we can cover over the year though. My kids aren't really big readers. They don't mind reading a little bit, but like they don't like to read nonstop all day. And also we have separate language arts curriculums for both of them. So they have books they're reading for that. And another thing that comes into play for us, each child is doing 2 guest hollow curriculums this year. So there's a lot of reading for both of them. Here are some of the extra books I did pick that I thought my son would like. God's Smuggler, we've got Journey to the River Sea, From Here to Eternity, and then for biology, I picked this out, and this is for the high school curriculums. There are less books that they can pick from, especially for the biology. There are less scheduled books and more unscheduled, so there's more freedom to what you can pick. The elementary guest hollow, there's a lot more books that you have to purchase. These are just some of the books for the anatomy. It's mainly based on reading books and not a whole lot of online things. There's like online videos that are linked. The thing about the high school curriculums, they're a little bit different. There are actually online spines that you go through and there's videos embedded in those spines. So there's less books that you're going to be reading offline as compared to online. So that's pretty much it. I hope I covered everything, and I hope it was easy to understand exactly how I organize our school year for the guest hollow. Bye, guys.